Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the first day of my holiday series. So, I haven't mentioned anything about this and I also have nothing pre-filmed, but I've had this idea in a while and my friend Kyla has been doing it, Smoky Glow has been doing it, just a ton of people have been doing this sort of posting more in December, and I really wanted to take part just because I have so many video ideas that I really want to film and want to post for you guys. I just haven't had the time. Like literally I have a list of like 20 different videos that I wanted to post, but I just have been not on my game because of school. But for the most part, school is over aside from one class, so I decided I would try and post 12 days in a row. So starting the 13th until the 24th, that is 12 days of videos. So I'm calling it my 12 days of beauty. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stick to it just because a lot of the times technology is not on my side, but I'm hoping I can get it done. I'm filming this on the 12th, so I'm really got my work cut out for me, but I'm so excited for this. I have so many videos that I've just been wanting to film and wanting to talk about, so without further ado, let me introduce you to the first video in the series, and it's going to be a full face of your guys' 2020 favorites. So I went ahead and asked you guys on Instagram, what were your beauty favorites of 2020? I didn't ask you any category, I just asked what your favorites were, and I took note of everyone's favorites. I have your names down, and I'm going to do a full face of it, and you guys have a really good taste. I didn't buy anything new for this video just because I'm not at that point where I can spend that kind of money, and I also have a lot of the same favorites as you guys. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I hope the lighting is better than it was in the last video, but the window is not doing me justice. Okay, this is the best I can do with lighting. It's just a bad hour of the day and the sun is coming right into my window. But I'm going to put my hair back with my little Notco headband. I realized I don't think I've mentioned this in one of my videos, but I do have two of her headbands. This one is my second one. It's just a really cute holiday one. It is a small Canadian-owned shop, and I really love her. And I'm also going to put in my Simply Made by Becca earrings, which is another small shop run by one of my good friends here. So before I start putting on the makeup, and part of the reason why I wanted to do this video first in my little series is because I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. I literally can't comprehend the fact that I started this channel in what, like April, I don't know, beginning of quarantine, and now I have 1,000 subscribers. And not just that, but I have so many friends on here that I've made. So many of you guys have become, I would say, good friends of mine. I've recognized so many of your comments. I notice when you guys comment on my videos, I recognize the same faces, and I'm just so grateful. And I literally can't comprehend that I have 1,000 subscribers, and I just wanted to say thank you guys so much. So I wanted to do this video in kind of celebration of that. Also, I should have repainted my nails because I'm filming a lot of videos today, but we're gonna have to just ignore that. Okay, so I didn't get any responses for primer, and to be honest, I wasn't really into primer this year. I only have two, and I don't feel like putting either of them on just because I don't need to wear primer every day. But the first foundation, and one that really was the only foundation that people really responded with, just because again I didn't ask specific categories, was Jennifer said her favorite foundation of the year was the Kosas Tinted Face Oil, and I know plenty of my friends also like this, Kim and Kyla and everyone. It's a very popular foundation, and I will say I do enjoy this. I think I enjoyed it more in the summer. I know I really fell in love with it then, but I haven't reached for it in a while because I find sometimes it can just make my skin look kind of textured, and it does cling to dry patches. So actually, I'm filming this the day that Kyla posted her full face of Kosas, and she did use this, and she did a very good up close shot of what this looks like on dry patches that I would say is very accurate. But I still do enjoy this foundation. It's just not my favorite. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit. A little bit goes such a long way with this. And I used this once recently, but before that I hadn't used this in so long. I find the Rare Beauty one is a similar consistency, but it's just, to me, less finicky, and I don't know. This one you can apply with your finger, or not your finger, your fingers, which is what I used to do like over the summer, but I just don't like having to get up and wash my hands or whatever. I'm lazy. So I literally just took a few drops of this. It is so liquidy, and you get a ton of coverage just out of a tiny amount. So it is going a long way. And I don't know if this lighting is too orange. You'll have to let me know, because I think the last video I was a bit too washed out. So I just applied that. That was literally like a few drops. I have the shade 3, which definitely works a little bit better for me over the summer. Okay, so that was just a few drops, and the coverage I would say is pretty good on this. I have redness just from touching my skin, and I did apply a hydrating sunscreen underneath. I did that a few hours ago. Just be warned that if you put sunscreen on and then put this on too quickly after, it will pill, which is one of the annoying things, is that it's just a foundation that I have to think about. But once I do get it on, I do think it is nice, and especially during the summer, again, I feel like this is so good for like combo oily skin, or like when it's hot out, because it will seriously last all day. So I'm just gonna put on a few more drops. Okay, so that's the foundation kind of all blended out. I do put a little bit of foundation on my under eyes. I always do that just because I find it helps with my concealer. So for concealer, for concealer, not surprised, I got a response from Kyla saying that the Kosas Revealer Concealer is her favorite concealer, which not surprised about if you watch her channel, and also nice that you get to see these two paired together. I do like this concealer. I had a little bit where I didn't enjoy it because I felt like, again, it did the same thing as the foundation, where it kind of just didn't look good on my skin. But lately I've been using it more and I do enjoy it. It is a very hydrating concealer compared to the foundation, so I think if you have really dry under eyes, the concealer I would recommend, because I feel like this is something a lot of people would like, but I'm not sure if it's my favorite. I did enjoy it when I first tried it, but just recently I hadn't been using it, and now I'm getting back into it and I do like it, but I'm not sure if it's a holy grail. So I'm just using my Rare Beauty concealer brush to blend this out. I need to clean my brushes really badly, but I feel like this concealer might be better with a sponge, because I know like Amanda Z does really good close-up shots of her using this, and she always uses it with a sponge, and it always just looks so incredibly good. Like, it just melts into the skin and makes her under eyes look flawless. Oh, I have the shade number 2 in the concealer. Again, it does run very yellow, so okay, so that is everything blended in. I don't know what to do about the lighting. I just need to be filming in the mornings from now on, but I don't know, I like that. I just think that I don't like it when I apply too much, because I find it just doesn't look good on my face. That's my cat. She's fine, I promise. I promise she's fine. Anyways, so I didn't get any powder recommendations, so I will end up powdering, but I'm going to do some cream bronzer first, because I did get a few responses for a cream bronzer. So Allison and Noah both said that the Uoma Beauty contour stick was their favorite of 2020. Oh my gosh, my cat is fine, I promise. But they said that this was their favorite, and I do really enjoy this stick. I find that the bronzer isn't my favorite just because of the tone, and if you do get this, just be warned that it is really pigmented. But the highlighter is so incredibly good, but we won't be using that today. So for the bronzer, I am going to just take it on my brush directly, just so I don't apply too much, because this is super pigmented, but it is really creamy. This is my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. So I'm just going to put some on my brush, and like you can see, that is pigmented. So I'm just going to apply a little bit, and I apply above my cheekbone, and I know it looks a little weird, but trust me, apply your cream bronzer higher than you think you need to. So this is super pigmented, but it does blend out so easily, so it looks like it'd be dark for me. I have the shade Fair Lady, which is the second shade, and the only thing is that the lightest shade is more of a contoury color. It's a lot more cool toned. Okay, this makes me look like I don't know how to do makeup, but it's a lot more cool toned, so I would be open to trying it, but I feel like it's not going to give me the same look. Like, I would much prefer something like this, but lighter. So that's my only thing with this bronzer. I also feel like the lighting is doing no justice. So I'm gonna finish blending this out, and then I will be right back and show you that this can be fixed. Okay, so I blended it out. I also switched up my camera a little bit, so hopefully it looks blended out on camera and not super Oompa Loompa-y, but I mean, this is a really pretty bronzer. It's just, I think it's more of a summer shade for me. And I hope, not that I think they will, because this is a really great bronzer shade range, but I would like something a little bit lighter that I can still use as a bronzer. And maybe the cool tone shade ends up being more like a bronzer because my friends have it and that's what it looks like on them. But that's my only complaint about this one, is that I like something like the Fenty bronzer where it's a little bit lighter and a little bit more sheer, so I can get a sheerer wash. But this is really pretty. So for blush, I did get a powder blush, so I am going to apply some powder and then I will be right back, just because the Kosas concealer I find just looks not the greatest if it's super wet and thick on my face. So I am going to apply a little bit of my, Hourglass Veil powder, and I will be right back. Okay, so I did set my face down with powder, and before we do blush, I think I want to do the eyeshadow first, just because I like to match it that way. So for eyeshadow, a lot of you guys said the same palette. So Katie, Alexandra, Vanity Crop, and Liv, and probably tons of others said that your favorite of the year was the Natasha Denona Glam palette, which this is one of my favorites as well. I think this is a good, I don't know, it's not my favorite palette of all time in my collection, but I think it is an underrated palette. I think a lot of people have this, but a lot of people wrote this off because they don't like cool tones, when in my opinion, this is a lot more neutral than you would think. So without further ado, I'm just gonna get into this. I've had a few of you ask to see like my go-to look using this, so I think that's what I'm going to do. To be honest, I keep it pretty pinky toned and a little bit more warm, so that's what you gotta expect from me. So I'm gonna go in with this shade Blend. It's just a neutral, warm, matte brown, and I'm gonna take that into the crease. I did actually prime my eyes while I was gone too, and it reminded me that one of the things with the Kosas concealer is that I feel like it's so creasy. So I mean, I usually just apply less. I did apply a little bit more today, I don't know why, but I don't like it on my eyelids. So that is that color on the lid, just a really nice neutral leaning warm brown. And actually before I do shimmer, I'm actually gonna put that in the lower lash line, the same color, just to connect it and control the shape of the eyeshadow. This palette actually is a lot of fun despite being a more boring palette. I do think some of the shades are a little bit repetitive, and there are some I would take out. Like, I don't use these grays, but these top 3 shimmers are my favorite. I love these like champagne toned shimmers, and I do think it is a really good palette, and I think it is a lot of fun to play around with the deeper shades. I don't think it goes too deep. I think the shadows are really easy to play with, and it kind of opened me up to actually trying some depth. So I actually love that color. That's probably one of my favorite matte in the palette, but I'm going to build a little bit of depth. I'm going to use this shade. It's the one right next to it called Smoke. I don't like the naming of this. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that just on my outer corner. The shade is not too deep, so I would say it's pretty easy to work with. I think this is a great palette. I don't want to say for beginners because, like, obviously I'm not a beginner at makeup. I've been doing makeup for a while, but for someone who doesn't know how to do a smoky eye in their sleep, I do like this palette. So it looks a little bit crazy, but I just kind of put it on there and put the pigment there, and then I blend it out, and it just kind of works. And it's not super dramatic, I would say. I know on camera things pick up a little bit differently, but on what am I saying? In person, it just kind of looks really gorgeous. It's like a soft glam type of look. So that's that shade. It kind of blended out a lot, but I don't mind. I'm just gonna take that first shade and put that color back on the lid. For the shimmer, I'm going to take this shimmer. This is a little bit more impactful. It's the inner corner third shade. It has a little bit of a pinky shift towards it. Is anyone surprised that I'm using this? I'm just going to pop that on my lid. Oh, the pink shimmers in this are so gorgeous. I die. If you have like a go-to look from this palette and you want to share with me, please do, because I would love to try different combinations, because I kind of use the same shades every time I go into this palette. Okay, so in natural lighting, I just went and checked. It just looks really pretty and soft, and I think the pink also contributes to that, and this is my go-to look. I also, like I said, I love these 3 shimmers. That's basically what I use. This one looks weird and intimidating, but actually on the eye there are so many different micro colors in it. I don't want to call it like a glitter, but micro shimmers where just a bunch of different colors show up on the lid, and I think it is really pretty. So I'm just gonna top this actually with a little bit of this center eye shade just to add a little bit of light. I'm just taking like this, I'm tapping it, I'm not even swirling, I'm just tapping it up my lid just to add a little bit of light to it. And that's where I'm going to leave the eyes. I'm going to put a little bit of the, let's see, I'm going to put the brow bone shade into my inner corner. Okay, so that is the eyeshadow look. Again, this is what I do almost every time I use this palette, and I just think it's so pretty. But I do need to go out of my comfort zone. I need to try using these cool tones in a way that won't make my eyes look weird. But again, this is Natasha Denona Beautiful Formula. If you have your eye on this palette, I don't think you'll be disappointed in the quality. Just make sure you like the color story. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the eyes. So for brows, I didn't get a response, but I know my friend Kate really enjoys this product, and I've been really enjoying it lately. It's the e.l.f. Wow Brow, so I'm going to use that, the shade Taupe, which is a little bit light for me. It's like the only shade they had in stock, but I think brown would be too dark for me because once I actually get this on and I blend out the product, it looks nice. Something I usually do also is I back comb my eyebrows first just to get the pigment in, and then I brush them into place. Okay, so those are the brows. I'm not feeling the foundation today, but hopefully you can't see it on camera. But I'm gonna do eyeliner, which actually no one responded to, but I know my friend Tara Brooke said that this is one of her favorite products, or like this is her favorite eyeliner, and I did pick it up recently. It's the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal Liner. I got the shade Coco. I've only used this like once. It is super creamy, which I don't know if I like or not, but I think for the like on your lid, it will blend out so easily. It comes with like a little blending tool, but it is super creamy, and you do have to be careful when you take the cap off, like not to hurt the product. But this is the shade Coco. It's just a nice brown, and I'm just going to line my upper waterline, and I will be right back because you guys don't need to see the face I make when I put this on. Okay, so I applied the eyeliner. I just went about 2/3 of the way in on my upper lash line just to add a little bit of depth, and I like how it looks. I still have to keep playing around with it, and it is expensive, but I did get it on sale. So next, mascara. Again, I did get a few responses actually. I got a lot of drugstore. I got some Glossier Lash Lick, but I have mascara that I use. I only open one mascara at a time, and I already have 2 backups, and this one is about to go, but like I have plenty of mascara, so I'm just gonna use my usual Marc Jacobs at Lash'd. And again, I will be right back because I feel like putting on makeup is boring. Okay, so the eyes are done, and I just went in the window to look at it in natural lighting, and I love this look so incredibly much. This is such a gorgeous, like soft, very pretty eyeshadow look, and definitely like when life goes back to normal and I can go out to restaurants again, this would be something I would wear on like a date night as like a soft romantic look. I just think it looks so gorgeous. Okay, now moving on to the rest of the face. For blush, Blush Blessed, which is one of my favorite accounts on Instagram, and also she's such a sweet human being, but she said her favorites were the Hourglass blushes, which I don't buy from Hourglass anymore just because of their inclusivity issues, but I do love these blushes. I would say these are my favorite powder blushes in my collection. So I have the shades At Night and Sublime Flush, and I think either could really go with this look. Sublime Flush is a more pinky peachy color, and At Night is a rosy color. I'm gonna go ahead and use At Night just because I used Sublime Flush in my last video, but I do love both of these. I think At Night is like my favorite blush. Like I can't stop using it, and I feel like it goes with everything. So I'm using a ColourPop blush brush, which it isn't my favorite because it is a little bit more flat, and I used to use this big fluffy one, but I just dust it back and forth, and then I go back and forth on my cheeks like this. And my At Night is a little bit less pigmented than some of my friends because it has that marbling, but I actually think it makes it really pretty for my skin tone. And I just love this shade. I think this is my favorite blush of 2020. Maybe one other cream is like tied with this, but I could seriously wear this every single day and I would be so happy because it is such a gorgeous shade, and it is such a shame that Hourglass refuses to acknowledge their inclusivity issue. Okay, and again, in natural lighting, this looks beautiful, stunning. I need to figure out my lighting so badly. I'm just not used to being at home. But I love this blush tone. I feel like it looks a little bit off over here, but it'll all work out. So next for highlight, you guys, speaking to me with my favorite highlight of the year as well. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Superstar Glow Highlighter. My favorite, just chef's kiss all around. Ingrid and Blush Blessed said that this was their favorite highlighter of the year, and I would have to agree. It's just so good. I used this in my last video, but I don't care because it is so good. It's just so good. I know it's expensive, but you know, spend your money on whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you if it's worth the money because I'm not answering those questions anymore, because worth the money is so different for everyone. For someone, going out to a really nice restaurant is worth the money, and for other people, it is not. So it really depends on your financial situation and also just how much money you like to spend on makeup. I will say this is worth the hype. I will say it's grossly overpriced. So probably no, it's not worth the money, but am I still going to spend the money to get this? Obviously, yes. So, okay, so that is almost the whole makeup look, and I feel like I'm looking so pretty. You guys have really good taste. Okay, so all we have left is lips, and I got a ton of different things, but I had to feature the Tower 28 lip products because so many of you just said Tower 28 everything is your favorite of the year, and I would agree. The Tower 28 blush, spoiler alert, in Magic Hour, favorite blush. But the lip glosses are also my favorite lip discovery of the year. The only thing is I am allergic to fragrance, and I'm just now discovering that. For some reason, I just thought that my throat would close up for no reason, but no, it's because there's fragrance in them. So I'm going to use something else today. I'm sorry, I have a ton of videos of me using these. I have a whole lip swatch video where I swatch all of the milky glosses, and I have an older lipstick swatch or lip gloss swatch video where I swatched the other 3 shades. But today I just want to be able to breathe, so I'm going to use my Ilia Balmy Gloss in Tahiti just because this is the only lip product. Actually, I have lipsticks that I could use. I'm going to try the lip gloss in Tahiti, and if it doesn't match, I will switch to a lipstick. But this is my only lip product, really, that doesn't have fragrance. So if you have any recommendations for fragrance-free lip products, please let me know, because I'm sad. I have no idea if this matches, but at this point I don't care because this is the only thing that makes me happy because it's a gloss that doesn't make my throat close. So I do really enjoy the formula of these. Okay, so again, I don't know if that matches, and I hope the lighting is okay, but in person, I'm loving this look. You guys have such great taste, and I'm so happy about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hopefully featured one of your favorite products. I couldn't get everyone's. I know a lot of these came from Instagram, and you guys left a ton of great comments on my YouTube video of your favorite. So maybe one day, maybe next year, I will save up some money and I will be able to buy some new products that you guys try. Or maybe like throughout the year, I'll do a subscribers pick my makeup or like pick what I'm gonna buy. I don't know, but I thought this was really fun. I got to shop my stash a little bit using products that I don't necessarily use. I feel like a lot of the products we use today are things that I did love at one point, but I just haven't been using lately. So this was a ton of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I am so grateful, and I hope that you guys enjoy this 12 days of beauty. Hopefully I can get it done, but don't be mean to me if I don't, because y'all, technology and mental health are not on my side, but we're gonna try. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and fingers crossed I can edit this down to not be too long, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!